Hello again everyone, I'm Terry Peterman, the Internet Electrician, and welcome to another one of our video shorts on current topics here at electrical-online.com. In my latest newsletter we talked about switches and what happens when they go bad or when something is wrong. Well, this one I'm going to talk about here is in our bathroom in the condominium we're staying at here in Tamarindo, Guanacaste, Costa Rica. Now, when I turn on this middle switch, lots of times I'll hear a buzzing. So I'm going to investigate what that buzzing is, as well as with that buzzing I see a dimming of at least the vanity light, the light above the mirror here. So we're going to investigate what's causing that. I'm not sure if the problem's in the switch or if it's up in the light itself and a bad connection there. Let's check it out. So first things first, we got to find out where's the panel in this place so I can shut off the power. Well, after searching everywhere for the panel, I finally located it. I was beginning to think that maybe it's fed from a common meter center and load centers that were somewhere in a common room in the condominium complex, but no. Pull out the fridge and here it is. Panel's mounted in behind the refrigerator. We've got a Cutler hammer panel. It's actually quite a nice little panel. 16 circuit. See a GFI breaker in there, but of course, as you'll notice, the panel schedule is not labeled, so I'm going to have to just start shutting off likely breakers that would be feeding the lights in that bathroom and see what I got. Well, the first breaker I tried, I used the test button on the GFI breaker. Sure enough, that is the bathroom, so I'm quite impressed that they've actually used a GFI circuit for the bathroom area. How civilized here in a third world country like Costa Rica. So I've got the breaker off now, and we'll begin to take apart the receptacle and switch combination and see if I can find any cause for that bad connection and the buzzing and the dimming of the lights. So first things first here, we're going to remove this faceplate. Okay, here we are. I've got the device pulled out of the box, and I'm actually quite impressed with the wiring here. That box is mounted out to the surface as it should be in a concrete wall. There's conduit run, so they've run conduit and wires. They have a ground to this GFI receptacle, which is nice. Anyhow, I think I've found where the problem is. Right here is where the power comes into the switch, or into the receptacle I should say. Then they jumper it over for power to this switch. And here's where they did make a little bit of a mistake, is he used a white wire to jump it over to the second switch. But looking at this, you can tell that that should be a hot wire and it should have been black. Now right here though, this middle connection where it jumps from the receptacle to the first switch and then jumpers over the second switch, I found these two wires very loose. When I tugged on them just a wee bit, they popped right out. So I looked for signs of pitting or arcing on the wires, and I think I may have seen the source of our arcing and sparking that was causing the dimming of the lights and the buzzing sound. So I got to flip this over, the terminal screws on the other side to snug that down, and then we're going to see if we've got it fixed. Okay, I'm ever more convinced now that the middle switch is bad. Can you see how it's discolored? And the two on the left there are nice and bright and silver. That one's discolored, and it shouldn't be. It should be the same color as the two on the left. So I've got a bad switch here. I re-terminated those wires, snugged them down nice and tight, and now the middle switch doesn't work at all. So I'm going to have to go find myself a new replacement switch and get this problem solved. Okay, so off I went to the hardware store, or the ferreteria, which they call it here, and I found myself a replacement switch. So as you see, they just slip into this holding bracket. There's a notch at one end and a snap in the other, so they just snap into place. I'll make my connections and see if we've got a fix. Okay, so I've got the switch replaced. I've got everything back together. Now we just have to see if everything works. The overhead light is fine. The light above the vanity is fine. So time will only tell if I've got rid of the buzzing, but I'm sure that was the problem. It was a faulty switch, and it's replaced and all's back to normal. So we've all learned a little something here today about replacing some Costa Rican devices, and actually I've learned that they do quite nice work. Just a little bit different material than we're used to with these modules, but I kind of like them, and like I say, they do good work. GFI protected bathroom. I feel quite a bit better about some of the wiring, especially in this condo. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I'm Terry Peterman, the Internet Electrician.